Chapter 51, Entering the Stage Part 1. Meanwhile, his body moved and he appeared on the stage. He looked at the Heng Yue sect disciples with an arrogant expression and said, "All you Heng Yue sect inner disciples can all come at once. I, Zhou Peng, will take you all on." The Heng Yue sect disciples went into an uproar. Even the Heng Yue sect elders revealed frowns. None of the people from the Xuan Dao sect said anything. They only revealed respectful looks. It seemed that this person's status was not low in the Xuan Dao sect. Elder Aoyang coughed and shouted, "Friend Huang Long, this is Zhou Peng. He is our Xuan Dao sect's head disciple. Let this one match decide it all. If one of your Heng Yue sect disciples can last 10 seconds, then the Heng Yue sect has won." Zhang Kuang's eyes lit up. He moved his body, landed on the stage, then heavily said, "Such an arrogant kid. I'll test you." Zhou Peng let out a laugh and said, You appear to be at the 6th layer of qi condensation, but you're hiding your true strength. You're actually at the 8th layer. You are not strong enough." As he was speaking, a cold light flashed across his eyes. He waved his right hand, then a black snake suddenly leapt out and grew into a giant python. This python's large head looked coldly at Zhang Kuang's terrified face. It opened its mouth and inhaled, which produced an unimaginable suction force. The suction was very strange. It only affected Zhang Kuang and no one else. Zhang Kuang didn't have the power to resist. Before he could even use any techniques, his body acted like a kite with its string broken and was sucked toward the python. Zhou Peng sneered. He raised his right hand and grabbed Zhang Kuang's neck. He said, "Go back and train for a few dozen years before coming back to look for me." With that, he threw Zhang Kuang out with his right hand. The last remaining purple-clothed disciple went to catch Zhang Kuang, but wasn't able to counteract the force, so they both slid on the ground for a very long distance before finally stopping. Zhang Kuang's face was very pale. His eyes were closed and his body constantly trembled. On his neck was a black handprint, as if there was a hand firmly clamped on his neck. The purple-clothed disciple that caught him had a look of horror on his face and was silent. Huang Long's heart was very bitter. The Xuan Dao sect's head disciple was simply too strong. Based on what happened just now, this person was at least at the 10th layer. He surely had a talisman hiding his cultivation level, so the exact level wasn't known. Then he looked at the surrounding inner disciples. Huang Long let out a sigh. Even the head disciple, who was with the core formation elders, didn't have a good chance of winning because he was only at the 10th layer. If he loses the fight, then the Heng Yue sect will have completely lost. Huang Long wryly smiled. "Fine. It seems my Heng Yue sect has no hope. Quickly, tell the two ancestors about what old man Aoyang said so they can make a decision. If what he said is true, then there is no hope in keeping the Heng Yue peak." Zhou Peng arrogantly looked at the surrounding people and asked, "Who's next?" All of the Heng Yue sect disciples became dumbfounded. None of them spoke up, and all of them lowered their heads at Zhou Peng's gaze because none of them wanted to go up. Zhou Peng sneered. He looked down upon them in his heart. However, as his gaze was sweeping over the disciples, he was stunned when he noticed that there was a 3rd-layer disciple who wasn't afraid of his gaze. Wang Lin's expression remained calm as he looked at Zhou Peng. Zhou Peng stared at Wang Lin and coldly asked, "What, do you want to come up?" Zhou Peng's words attracted everyone's attention. When they realized that Zhou Peng's words were directed at Wang Lin, all of their expressions became strange. Huang Long let out a sigh. Wang Lin was only at the 3rd layer and normally wouldn't be noticed among the disciples, but now, although his cultivation was low, his bravery was commendable. Zhou Peng, seeing that Wang Lin didn't respond, sneered, "Out of the 4 battles, there is still one left. The Heng Yue sect is such a large sect, yet no one dares to come up. I'm very disappointed. Do none of your inner disciples dare to come up?" Elder Su, who was standing next to Huang Long, said, "Sorry, junior brother Sun. Wang Lin, you go." Sun Dazhu was stunned and immediately realized what was going on. He angrily said, "Dao Su, although you are my senior brother, you can't disgrace me like this. My disciple is only at the 3rd layer. Letting him go up will only make me lose face. Don't think I don't know what you're thinking. Their sect's head disciple is too strong, so you all are afraid that your disciples will be defeated, shamed, and hurt, so you are sending in my disciple as a scapegoat. My disciple has always been considered trash at the school, so, even if he loses, you guys can make an excuse. I refuse to agree to such a disgraceful thing. Dao Su frowned. He really did have such thoughts in mind, but Sun Dazhu didn't give him any face and said all of that in front of the Xuan Dao sect. He sneered. His eyes looked at the sect head Huang Long and sent some messages. Huang Long sighed and said, "Junior brother Sun, don't bother saying more. Wang Lin, you go up." Sun Dazhu angrily threw his sleeve to the sides and looked up into the sky with a mocking smile on his face. Wang Lin clasped his hands and respectfully exclaimed, "As you command." With that, he took a deep breath, then slowly walked forward and onto the stage. All of the Xuan Dao sect's disciples started to jeer loudly at him. "Heng Yue sect, you have no shame, sending a waste to compete with our eldest martial brother. Our eldest martial brother doesn't even need to deal with this trash. I can kill him with just a thumb." Eldest martial brother, they have already given up. Just send someone else to deal with him. He is honestly pretty pitiful. Be a good person and just send him off without hurting him. Elder Aoyang looked at the two elders and revealed a look of disdain. He laughed and said, "I really got to know the true Huang Long and Heng Yue sect today." Huang Long's face sank. Without a word, he waved his sleeves and left. He didn't have any hope in Wang Lin. He only sent Wang Lin up to be fodder to end the last match. In this exchange, he had already accepted defeat. After all, even if he lost, then if word of it were to spread, it was not so bad. But if word got out that no one even dared to fight, then it would be too disgraceful. None of the other inner disciples dared to go up, so he could only send Wang Lin. Behind him, all of the elders of the Heng Yue sect shook their heads and turned around to leave. Even the inner disciples started to move their feet, unwilling to stick around and lose more face.